People, welcome to Newspaper Breakdown. I hope we are all excited to see the end of this year. You can't doubt that it's not a year. It certainly has been a year. Some news stories to go through as always. We'll start actually with a recommendation. There's a ProPublica long read on 911 call analysis that has been sweeping the US justice system from the police to prosecutors for a few years now. 911 call analysis does what it says on the tin. You've got a select number of words and you listen to calls, and if they say, you listen to 911 calls, and if they say particular words, or they don't say particular words, or they act in a particular way, then you can use that to judge whether or not they're guilty or not. This is, of course, bollocks. It's horseshit. It's pseudo junk science bollocks. But it's what we want in society, isn't it? It has been debunked by 5 separate studies. It's one bloke who came up with it, and every study that's been done to try to replicate what he claims are results has shown that it is absolute horseshit, but it is still used by police in the US and is allowed in courts by judges as expert witnesses, and people have been put into prison off the back of this horseshit. Very interesting read. One of the things that I find most fascinating about it is how it connects to society. For me, I think that one of the issues that we're facing, and we've faced for years really, is the growth of simplicity, pseudoscience, horseshit that is just makes us feel better. Everything from conspiracy theories are all about that, the simple answer instead of the complexity. Homeopathy, anti-vax, someone's after you, someone trying to connect you. It's all of this. It's all so much fucking easier than reality. Anything that Jordan Peterson deals in is just simplicity in where complexity should be. I have a very simple rule in life. I've got many rules in life, but I think it's important to always be wary if someone is giving you a simple answer to something complex, and the other way round. If someone's giving you a complex answer to something remarkably fucking simple, you never trust. And this, but it's a very fascinating. As I say, it's one of those long reads. This is why I'm not doing a whole thing about it, because it's fucking 13, 14 long paragraphs. Well worth a read, though. Of course, ProPublica are one of those very interesting news publications. There's a few of them that are still worth listening to out there, you know. But we'll go back to the regular news. According to the Fire Brigade Union, the highest paid fire service bosses earn more than 6 times a regular firefighter's salary. This is after a Freedom of Information request done by the union. They revealed that chief fire officers get an average of £148,000 a year, with the highest paid earners getting £206,000 a year, which is more than 6 times the ordinary firefighter's salary. This comes as the union has rejected recently a 5% pay rise. And this entire month will be secret voting to see whether or not firefighters are going to join with seemingly everyone else and go on strike over pay. We have, of course, seen a massive widening in inequality in this country. And although you would have a look and you'd say £206,000 at the top of at the top end of being a firefighter, that's a decent salary, yeah, but that's not like mind blowing, is it really? If you think about it, that's not like beyond the realms for money that we see, is it? You look at bankers, you look at Hell, I mean, that's slightly more than what politicians earn. And they keep on telling us that they don't earn a lot, you know, or PM 148,000, I think is around about what the PM earns. So it's not like absolutely out there. You're not there going, oh, well, he's on fucking £1 million a year and they're on 30k. But still, the inequality, should it be that someone at the top is worth 6 times the amount of someone at the bottom? Is that right? Is that fair? The answer to that, of course, is no. No one's worth 6 times someone else. But it's the same with every self-made billionaire in the world. Not only do they not do it themselves, but Jeff Bezos shouldn't be a billionaire whilst the people who he pays have to use food banks. That's it. It's simple. I consider it simple. But then, as I said at the start, maybe I'm giving you a simple answer to something very complex. I don't personally feel it is complex. You know, no one shouldn't have a billionaire and people shouldn't be using food banks. Put them together, there you go. Due to a severe lack of social care in the country, the NHS are taking care of more people in December than they have any time in the last decade. So this is thousands of fit to be released patients, but they've got nowhere to go. So they are just still in the NHS. This has been a regular story coming through over the past few months. One of the problems, we don't have enough money in social care, and so you've got people who should be sent out now. You're fit enough to be discharged, but they are not. They are outpatients with no out to go to. So what that's doing is that's taking up more beds, and so we're getting a bed shortage for something that frankly can be fixed. But then you would need government to have been funded. The longer it takes to actually start looking to fix things, the deeper in the hole you get, and so it becomes harder and harder to dig yourself out. It's very difficult to climb at this point. And so even if, say, we get rid of the Tories and Labour come in, they're not going to be able to bang, everything's going to be fine, no matter what they say. This is not going to be happening. It's going to take effort and years, unless we go to a fucking casino, put everything we got on red, and everyone just fucking please. Jeremy Fleming, the head of the GCHQ, which is the largest of Britain's 3 main intelligence agencies, has said that Western spy agencies should use intelligence to pre-bunk narratives pushed by Russia and other authoritarian states. A very interesting look at how intelligence agencies are starting to evolve and develop. Instead of everything being clandestine all of the time, they're actually suggesting what we should do is, we've got all of this information, let's put it out there, let's put it out to stop to cut off any potential fake that can be going on. Of course, there are issues with that, trust being one of the main ones. He went on to say that if you put a lot of effort into getting secret intelligence, you should use it, which makes sense. And getting information out to pre-bunk may be a good thing. As I say, trust is the major issue there. If GCHQ, MI5, MI6 came up to you and said, well, this is going to happen, how quickly would you believe it? We already have an issue with trust in this country with people in power. We don't trust them for a lot of it, rightly, quite bloody rightly. In the run-up to the Russian invasion, Western agencies put out a series of public warnings, at first just to say that Russia was planning a multifaceted invasion of Ukraine. Remember, a lot of people, when they were saying that, said it was bollocks, including Russia. Whoops, fuckity whoops, fuckity whoops. And after that, they later said that there was a specific pro-Russian coup plot. Say it in a why am I weird? A specific pro-Russian coup plot, and the Kremlin was planning a fake a very graphic video as a prefix for the attack. Now that never happened. But then you can get into, did it not happen because it was never part of Russia's plan? They were just going to invade anyway? No. We all saw that Putin continually said that the reason that they're doing it, or they started off, is to fight the Nazis. That's what they said. So there is a chance that they were going to do a fake video. Problem being, of course, once the information is out there and they said, oh, they're going to do a fake video, even if you weren't going to do a fake video, if you put out a video, in your mind, you're already there going, ah, fake. So, on Russia is still bombing Ukraine after rejecting a Ukrainian peace plan as it continues to attack Ukrainian infrastructure. This is the attack of infrastructure is something that is abhorrent. It is a war crime because they're trying to create it so you're basically attempting to starve out of people. It's happened in a lot of places. Both Russia and the likes of the US have gone. In Syria, the UN would give detailed map references to where the likes of hospitals and schools were to the US and Russia so that they could not bomb them. And then Russia certainly bombed them. It was like the UN just made it easier for Russia. It was like playing fucking battleships, but you can see where they fucking are. Oh no, you blew up my school. Terrible. Now, with regards to Ukraine and the Russian invasion, we do, every so often, you come across an article, a very important article. I saw one the other day, but I didn't really have a way to get into the article without a piece of news. So there was an article the other day, and it like you normally see an article that talks about another tragedy that's going on in the world and how it's being ignored comparative to the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Most recent article I saw on it was Ethiopia. Tragedies, just barbarity in fucking Ethiopia at the moment. You've got an estimated 600,000 lives have been lost. More than 6 million people being pushed towards starvation in Tigray. Weaponized rape, torture, and the question always comes, why does it not get as much attention as Ukraine? It is a very, very valid question. We do not see front pages in any of the national newspapers in this country, and I doubt, I'm not saying for certain, but I doubt you do in every other Western fucking place. I also doubt you see it in any papers in the world. I do not think there's a front page in China that's telling you about the fucking massacre that is happening in Ethiopia. Question always becomes why. There is another question, because the problem is you can go on and go on and go on and go on and go on about it, and you can really remove any semblance of care, really. Because you go, right, you do an article, you're there, going, right, article about Ethiopia, 600,000 lives lost, more than 6 million people being pushed towards starvation in Tigray. Important. People should know about this. And then you can just look at that article and say, okay then, well, why are you ignoring the genocides in Darfur? Why are you ignoring the genocide in Myanmar? Why are you ignoring the starvation in Yemen? Why is Ethiopia so important? You should not think like that, by the way. You shouldn't think like that. It's difficult to answer such a question. I mean, really, the reason that we care so much about Ukraine comparative to the other genocides that are going on, I mean, the 400,000 plus dead in fucking Syria, the gas used, the multitude of fucking, I mean, you've got a couple of genocides in this world going on at the moment, mass murder fucking all over the place, growth in authoritarian rule. Why do we get Ukraine on the front page? Because they're Western-ish, they're white, and this is a white fucking, the West is white, this is the truth of it. It's a mixture of racism, location, all of that's the fucking reason. At no point am I claiming, oh, this is the good reason. I'm just saying it's the actual fucking reason. It's not complex. It just simply is not complex. It's a tragedy and it's awful, but it's not fucking complicated. That's the reason. Final two stories. European gas prices have dipped to pre-Ukrainian invasion levels. Greed is one of the main reasons why we haven't seen price reductions. We have ExxonMobil is now launching a legal bid against the EU, against the EU's windfall tax on oil companies, claiming a windfall tax would be counterproductive, saying that it would result in less money going into fossil fuel extraction. We want less fossil fuel extraction. So that seems like a win. Also, that level of greed in a cost of living crisis around the fucking world, with the likes of ExxonMobil deciding to sue the EU for doing a windfall tax on extra profits that they have gotten, shows the level of greed for the reason why we need to wipe out all these oil and gas companies. They are, I mean, what's bigger than a parasite but is the same fucking thing? Whatever that is, it's that. Final. Almost 5,000 spiking incidents were reported to the police over the 12 months to September. Spiking made by a needle narrowly outstripping reports of drink spiking. So the figures were 4,924 reports of spiking in the 12 months to September. 3% of the cases found to contain a controlled drug which supports a spiking incident. 2,581 cases of needle spiking reported to the police. Most common drug detected was cocaine, ketamine, or MDMA. It's another look at humanity, I think. I find it very difficult not to jump onto the idea that the best thing for anyone ever caught spiking a drink is murder, kill 'em. And I think that's something that, as humans, we try to step away from. It shouldn't be. You have to be better if you want a better world. That's the problem with trying to have a better world. You do have to put in more effort than those at the bottom. Well, anyway, well, I hope this was something, and I shall talk to you all soon. So have a good one.